up all hearing about all the time, you know. And so he had an unbelievable career here in Las Vegas, didn't he?
He said it was harder to get a ticket to the UNLV basketball game than it was to go see Frank Sinatra. It was the hottest ticket in town, and he was very proud of that, and as we were as a family.
And you played for him too, right? You were on those teams.
I was on his 1981 through 84 teams, and our 1982-83 team was the first team in UNLV's history that was #1 in the country. We lost to the national champions, North Carolina State, by 1 point that year, and the very next year we lost to Georgetown the year they won the national championship. Later on, my dad had some teams that actually won the national championship and went to the Final Four, so it was a great time to be a Rebel.
And right now, going through college and doing all that stuff here, were you born in Las Vegas?
No, I moved here when I was 11.
11 years old, okay.
1973.
And you weren't married then, were you?
No,
not quite.
Not quite, no.
Okay, and so Amy was there where you met her later then?
I met Amy when I was coaching basketball with my father in Fresno, and she was a waitress at a restaurant that I had a high school coach in town with, and I asked her out that night. She said yes. I sent her flowers. Her ex-boyfriend found out that I sent her flowers and got back together with her, and she stood me up.
That's not good.
But I pursued her after that when I saw her next, and the next time we got together, and we stayed together ever since.
Okay, so Amy is his beautiful wife, and we're going to be showing you some pictures here in a minute. Now, you're going to get a special phone call, Danny. Now, Danny is one of my brothers. I have 4 brothers, and one of them is Danny. Okay, and the fact is, so I can't forget that name, but the fact is, what time is your phone call going to come in about?
At 3:20, in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Well, whenever that phone call comes in, we're going to take it live on our station here on WCOBM. You're going to answer it on your phone, and he's going to hold the phone up close enough to the mic that we can all hear what happens on that phone call, right?
Yeah, it's a really big national radio host. His name is Lars Larson, and he's going to have me on to talk about my Senate campaign.
Okay, and that's what we're going to hear. We're going to be part of that because we all want to know about that Senate campaign also. Okay, we're excited about that, and we're going to hear that. And so Amy and you have been married for how long?
We have our anniversary tomorrow.
Tomorrow is. We should have had her on TV today.
Yeah,
we should have had her.
We're going to Piero's, which was my dad's favorite restaurant in town. The owner was my dad's best friend.
Right behind us here.
Yeah.
Not too far.
It's a great restaurant. So we're going there for our anniversary tomorrow night. It'll be our 17th year.
Oh, son of a gun. That's great.
No, it's not. It's our 16th year.
16th year.
Yes.
Okay. So he apologizes. You apologize to Amy.
I wanted to get married 1 year earlier, but we didn't.
Yeah. See, it's your fault, Amy. He wanted to get married earlier.
Yeah.
And you have 4 kids, right? We'll talk about that for a second. We have Lois. She's your oldest. She's like 14, right?
Yes. She just started high school, so it's her first child in high school, first teenager.
And then you have some twins. You have twins. You have Asa. Is that her name?
Ava.
And then you have Ashley.
Yes.
And they're twins, okay? And then you also have your son, Jerry, named after grandfather, Jerry Tarkanian.
Yes.
And that is Jerry, and he's 7.
Yes, he's 7, and he has my dad's quick wit. He's the most amazing kid I've seen. And I'll give you an example of a story. My dad used to say things that you never really could quite figure out what he meant until a few seconds later. Here's a call.
Okay, here's the call. We're going to come back to that story in a minute. Take your call.
Hello. Yeah, I'm doing a podcast with somebody. Can we do this and also show this on the podcast? Would that be okay with you guys? Or do you guys want to keep it? Yeah. I think it promotes the show even better, so. Okay. All right, I'm all ready. Thank you.
Put it on speaker and put it close to here.
Sounds great. Thank you.
You can hold it right up by the phone.
Yeah, it's a commercial until it gets on.
I know, but they want to hear it. Do you want to hear the commercial? Right?
Okay.
Okay. We're going to hear it all.
Help Lars Larson sponsor.
This is a live interview on national radio. Lars Larson, the host. Okay, here we go. But maybe, are they talking to you yet? No, right? Okay, so we'll talk.
Yeah. I'll tell the story about my son, but my dad used to have the best wit. He'd make little statements that you didn't realize he was joking until you thought about it for a few minutes, and then you say, God, that was funny. And my little son's got that from him, and it's really a great trait.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So everyone's going to school here, and everyone's doing their thing here.
Yeah.
their dad's running for U.S. Senate.
Yeah, my kids have been a part of my campaigns, and they started off. Well, we go in a parade, and we would throw candy to the people in the that were watching the parade. And we, at first, our kids would run and take the candy and eat it themselves. Now they've gotten older, and they are like the candy watchers. They monitor how much is thrown so they don't run out. It's really funny to watch how they grow and react at different stages of their lives. Look, I'll be open-minded to anything you guys have to say, as long as it minimizes these activities, these atrocities, and it's within our constitutional rights to bear arms. And then that's what I said. I know I said it had to be within the constitutional rights on 2 different occasions. So if he's saying something like that, I think they're taking it out of context. But
sometimes they do that.
And if not, then I didn't articulate as well as I should have. But I think I made it clear on the radio, and hopefully that's
well, with our viewing audience here and the fact that people will be able to come back and see this time and time again, somebody in your position and your situation and what you're running for and standing for the rights of the public and all this kind of stuff, isn't this this massacre that happened to us on Sunday night unbelievable?
It was unbelievable. It's the worst fear any Las Vegan could ever have. It was discussed, or we thought there might be this possibility because of the type of city we have, where so many people come in an area where everybody's like basically having a good time and not watching over the security as much. But we have great security here with our casinos. I knew it would be tougher to happen, but we were worried about that it might.
Well, the main thing is that the people on site that were actually being shot at, the performers on stage, and the people inside the hotel, the security, and all of the firemen and police officers and ambulance drivers and everyone unified, and everyone came to everybody's aid, didn't they? Instantly.
Yeah. That's a great thing about what happened is the way this community came together.
That's right.
And the heroes that stepped up during this tragic time. It's amazing. First of all, anybody who wants to badmouth our police officers and question their motives and intent as a general body is ridiculous, and it's crazy, and it's just completely wrong. Those guys put their lives on the line and saved hundreds of lives by their actions, including that security guard named Jesus, who went up within 12 minutes. He got up to the room and diverted the shooter's attention, where the shooter ended up shooting him in the leg, but he stopped shooting down at the people, which just amazing. Then you start talking about the hospitals and the ER people and what they did. And my wife's favorite story is the Marine veteran that stole a car because he was there and he saw these people that were injured, but there wasn't any ambulance, so he hot-rodded a car and got 7 people into it and drove them to the hospital and saved their lives.
In somebody else's car.
Are
we going to go visit him in jail?
No, he should
Maybe not.
He should get another medal for what he did.
He's going to get medal.
I mean, you heard stories after stories of the heroic
Unbelievable.
And we were talking about this earlier. I mean, the way this community came together, you can't give blood at a blood place because the lines are too long, and it was eight hours when I tried to go.
I went over to do it. Like you said, it was a 3-hour wait, and the line I heard was like almost 1.5 miles long.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long line, isn't it? That's unbelievable. But the fact is that somehow unity and love and compassion and protection all came together. Nobody knows why that man did what he did, but the fact is that we all know why the people that tried to survive this thing did what they did, and that was because of respect and love and compassion, and they acted immediately, and that's what was important, and that's what did. I was driving by the Mandalay Bay just as it was starting to happen. All the ambulances and police weren't there yet, but we did hear what I thought was fireworks, you know what I mean? And the fact is, it was a big thing. I was going to go to that event myself. I had got other people into that event. And the fact is that I'm so sorry for all those people, and we here together pay tremendous respect and love and compassion for all people that had to go through that, no matter how it was. But this country and this city in particular is going to rise above that. And people of your stature, people that believe like you, that have families like you, and we're going to show some pictures here in a second, you are the people that hold us together and try to see that we are treated respectful, and try to see that our country, and especially our city, you as the U.S. Senate,
minute that you're going to see that we're all treated fairly, and work with people like Donald Trump, who I personally respect, and we all should personally respect our president and rally around him. In my opinion, we have to do the things we have to do. So if you have any particular message, we're going to show some pictures of your family, and I'm going to have you kind of talk through that, because I think it's so important to see what you and Amy have created, and the support that you have behind you and everything. So is there any particular message that you want to give to this audience?
I mean, let's talk about the pictures. We'll see what they have.
Okay.
I'll try to give a.
Throw us over here.
I want to tell the story of my son, because with his quick humor, and then I'll be quick, and then we get to the pictures.
Take your time.
But when he was 3.5 years old, I took him out to play soccer. I wanted him to play some type of sport, and I thought was the youngest one you can play. You can play at the youngest age. So he goes out there, and for about 5 minutes, he's enjoying himself, and then he starts getting upset. I want to leave. So I take him in the car and I drive him home. I said, Jerry, what got you so upset? He goes, I hate soccer. I said, Jerry, there had to be something you liked about it. What was the one thing you liked the most about it? And this is a 3.5-year-old. And you know what he said?
What?
Leaving.
Leaving.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
That was something my dad would have said. That was
he was quick wit. Your dad was always quick wit.
Of the concert that happened the other night, that's what would have been said about that. The best thing was leaving. Okay, that's great. Okay, now here's some pictures that the audience can see, right? Right, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay, so which picture are we looking at? Can you blow them up and we can see a large picture?
I can
Okay.
click on it if you want.
Okay, it's on that one. Okay, which one? Oh, right there. That's all we want to see.
You know what,
so who are we looking at there?
Well, this is a lady named Sally Minister out of Reno. I was up at a Washoe County GOP fundraiser where it was the you dressed up like it was whatever the year that was, the 50s, whatever. And anyway, so she was dressed up. I was in my pinstripe suit. I wasn't quite as 50s as she was, but it was pretty neat.
Okay, now let's roll through this, and you tell Scott when to stop. Okay. Well, then wait a minute. Now this here, maybe we better skip this one here. You look like you got some really nice ladies there that like you a lot.
I hope not, because they're high school girls out of the Washoe
Beautiful
area.
women, though. They're nice looking
They
ladies.
had great voices. They sang the national anthem.
Oh, my
before this
goodness.
event, and I asked them if they'd be willing to sing the national anthem before an event that I have in Washoe County, and they said yes. And they are wonderful. Wait till people hear them.
Okay, let's keep rolling there, Scott. Okay.
These were all from the same event that they had up there. As we mentioned, it was last weekend's event.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
So if you go past,
now look at that then.
they're all dressed up in really neat outfits. It was a great Gatsby look-alike is what they were doing.
Oh, that's great. Okay, keep rolling. We'll get some of the family pictures in here.
Yeah.
Okay, keep rolling. Now, if you see one you want us to stop because you want to explain it, you let us know, and we'll stop.
Yeah, these are all campaign events where you have
Campaign events and things showing that you have a tremendous contact.
That's my daughter.
Wait, go back to that one. That's your daughter.
Yeah, that's my oldest daughter, Lois.
That is Lois.
Yes, and she came with me to an event that we went to. It was actually a fundraising event for the earthquake victims in Mexico.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, that was not too long ago.
No, just
No, a lot of horrible things happened lately, didn't it? Okay,
pictures.
Keep going. Okay.
Same event.
That's your daughter too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are all the same event.
Keep going. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Wait, stop right there, because now
that's
this is
my
a parade of you and your wife.
Yeah, that's my
You have
wife.
a very beautiful wife. You're very beautiful, Amy. Okay.
She certainly is, and she's got the great personality.
Where was this parade? Was this Reno or here?
This was in Pahrump.
Oh, Pahrump.
It was the parade in Pahrump. I think it was a week ago, last Saturday.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that looks awesome. Okay. So then we go here and keep going there. Scott, okay, keep going. We're going to see some of these pictures. You can see all these on what? Facebook?
Yes, on my
okay.
Facebook.
On Danny Tarkanian Facebook. Okay, keep going. I want to get to some of the kids we've seen. Keep going. Now,
that was my daughter Lois when she was young. She used to sleep on my chest like that. She's too big now to do that.
okay, well, that shows that you are a good guy with good character, and you've got a beautiful daughter that she's going to. Now, wait,
Pop.
I want to see this one right here.
Yeah.
That is Grandpa, and who's that little person on Grandpa?
That would have been Lois probably. too.
Okay, that's Lois, the oldest daughter, and that is Jerry Tarkanian, a legend in the sports world here in this city, and has been ever since I've been here. Okay, great tribute to him. Go ahead. Okay, all right, keep going there. Oh, there is that you were.
Lois again, my wife and I.
Okay, that's your wife and you. Is that the daughter?
Yeah, it's Lois again. That was our
Okay,
first child,
all right. Okay. Okay. I think these are all okay. Now, is that?
Who that is?
I know that guy there. He is a lookalike of Ronald Reagan.
And very good lookalike.
Very good.
Along with his wife.
Well, that's right. No, that's it. No, this is a campaign banner at one time, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
It was our logo for the when I ran for Congress. last
Okay.
election.
Well, listen. So we've gone and seen a lot of
I'm sad
beautiful
that you
pictures.
guys didn't have any pictures of my other 2 kids.
We do had. I saw family pictures. Do you see any more pictures on there?
Well, there was the ones of my twins on my side.
We saw 5 of you in a picture.
Oh, did you?
I have
Yeah,
it
we
right
have
here.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I have it. I printed some pictures out of your beautiful family. Okay,
Yeah,
how
here
about
we
this
are.
one?
Yeah.
How about this one right here?
Yeah, that's all my kids, and that was at a park that we were at.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you find it in there, but actually
There they are. Look at the bottom middle one. Throw that one up.
There we
There
go.
we go. That's a
Not
great
only
picture.
That, but we got our 2 dogs that
wow.
as
Okay.
part of our family too.
So you said to me you only had 4 kids. I see 6. I see 6 kids.
yeah, we didn't count Lucy, the
You
one on
gotta-
the left, or
Hey.
Pinkie Pie, the one to the right.
I and my wife have 3 dogs,
Yeah.
and if we don't count them, if I don't count them as one of the kids, she might lock me out.
Yeah.
To her, they're one of the kids. Anyway, that's a beautiful family, and we're very honored to have that family pictures and all the things you have there. What would you say is the main gist of the things that you would want to say to people that would want to help you to help us by being able to win the GOP U.S. Senate? What is it? Guide us here a little bit and help us to say what is it that you're going to do for us if that becomes the champion thing that you do, which is to win this contest, which we're trying to hope you do.
Look, at every place I've gone, I keep hearing people say how they don't like politicians, how they really have disgust for politicians, and they say it over and over again. They don't trust their politicians. They tell you one thing when they're running for office, and then they do the exact opposite once they're elected. The guy I'm running against actually is the poster boy for that type of a politician. And the thing I bring to the table, and I'm very proud of it, and I think it comes from my mother and father's, the way they raised me, is I'm honest, and I tell you what I truly believe in. Like the guy who was questioning me about the gun issues, I try to be very honest with him. This is what I think. If there's some way to minimize those tragedies and stay within our constitutional right to bear arms, I want to hear that dialogue on it. Now, I don't think it made him real happy, but I try to be as honest as I can. And I'm going to go back to Washington, D.C. and vote the same way I talk about it. Number one, that's different than most politicians. 2 is I have the courage to make those votes.
And to stand up for what you know is right.
What I believe in. I got true convictions for my positions, and I'll stand up and do what's right, which again is different from most politicians. And thirdly is I think I've shown this by coming back and running after some tough losses, is I don't give up. I keep fighting, which everybody in life is going to go through certain adversaries and losses and what I call temporary setbacks. It's the way people handle those that determines how successful they are or not. And I handle temporary setbacks by never quitting. And finally, as we talked about earlier, me being involved in not only in basketball but also in football. I was a quarterback on the team. I know how to lead people and get them to work together as a team to achieve goals and accomplishments. And I think that's very, very important when you're back in Washington, D.C. working with 99 other senators.
So you know how to come out of a huddle and make it to a touchdown.
Well, you persuade your colleagues to have confidence in what you're saying and believe in you, and yes, and we all work together to get it done.
And they go out for you, and somehow they expect that somehow you're going to get the ball right in their arm, somehow.
Yeah, that's a very nice analogy, yes.
Yeah, okay. So we've got to do the same with different traits and different things that people do and make these things happen. It's very unusual. How is it that you're an attorney?
Yeah, I'm an attorney by education. I haven't practiced law since 1995.
Well, what do you do most of the time? Just politics?
No. I'm involved in real estate.
Okay.
First, I bought and sold real estate along with coaching basketball with my father. Then when I left coaching basketball with my father, came back to Las Vegas, and we've done a development project. It's on Warm Springs and Cimarron. We almost lost during the recession. In fact, my first building went up in August of 2007, right when the recession hit us the worst. But my dad used to say pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. I never forgot that line. So I was the first one to...
Pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered.
Exactly.
Yep.
So when that recession hit, I dropped our rates 50% right off the bat, and we signed people in for very low rates, but I got people to come in, and they carried us through the recession. Now we're back up to normal rates, and we're 100% leased. Warm Springs and Cimarron, 3 buildings that we own, and the 4th we sold. So I do that, and I run my sports facility that we talked about, the Tarkanian Basketball Academy.
Okay, tell us about that academy. It's important that we know about that. I want to tell you, during that 2007 and 8 and all that period, I lost more money than I can even think that I would have ever made. I lost, I had the Legends Ranch here for about 26 years. I had 18 acres there. I lost because everything went from, because I was using all my own assets in order to open shows and do all these great things. And then all at once, the amount of leverage and ownership was less than what all at once the value became. I went down by 60 to 70, in some cases 80%.
Yeah.
And I had a tough time. But it's okay. We all get together and we come out of it. I don't begrudge it at all.
It's how you handle the adversity.
That's right. You got to do it. Okay? So tell us about the Sports Center.
Well, I started the Sports Academy, the Tarkanian Basketball Academy, as I mentioned, because I wanted to teach the young kids the life lessons you learn through playing sports.
It's a great thing.
It's a nonprofit group. We started it using other gyms, church gyms and city gyms, and then we built it up big enough that we built our own facility in 2004. And at one time we had over 350 kids in our academy. We had 4 different sessions throughout the year, so some of them were repeats, but we had over 1,000 kids come in and out of our academy teaching them the life lessons you learn through playing sports. It's the largest private sports facility, I believe, in Southern Nevada, that at least unless somebody's built one recently. And I'm very proud of what we do there.
Well, what do you do when you say, because I'm trying to understand it myself, the fact is, what do you do there, and how long has it been there, and how would people know about it? Is there a website, and why was it formed? What audience does it get in if a private sports facility? It's a little unusual for me to understand that.
I built that in honor of my father, because in 2004 or 2002, when I first started it, the city of Las Vegas, the university I should say, they were distancing themselves from my father. They didn't want to have his name up around the university. I don't need to get into all those reasons why. It was a horrendous time for the city of Las Vegas, from when they got rid of my dad in 1992 to that period of time. So I wanted to have something on my dad and the young kids playing basketball. So I built this facility. And then, as I mentioned, I think it's at that time and still now, the school districts are de-emphasizing sports in schools. They don't think it's that important. I think that's a big mistake. As I mentioned, I think you learn the most important traits in your life competing and playing in sports. So I built this one to pick up a void for what was available for young kids in playing sports in the city at the time, and also to honor my father.
Okay, I think that's beautiful. Now, where is it located exactly?
Well, it's right behind the Palace Station, just south of the Palace Station on Rancho Road, just south of Sahara Boulevard.
And how many members are affiliated with it at this time?
Well, it comes and goes. We rent the facility out to a lot of other programs that come in during the summer. In fact, that's what pays most of our bills. And then we start what we call our club program, which is when you take the young kids and you put them, first of all, you work with them on individual skills, playing basketball. Then
do they get there by scholarship, or do the parents pay for it? How do they get in there?
There's a monthly fee for most of the parents, but when I was running the facility full time, we was sponsoring or what I call scholarshiping 20% of the kids at a time. And we always do that. Kids that can't afford it, we'll bring them in and we'll scholarship them so that they have the opportunity to participate.
Are you close to the Smith Center?
No.
It's on the other side, right?
The Smith Center's downtown. Ours is on against Sahara and Rancho.
Oh, Sahara and Rancho.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah,
okay.
we'll have about 20% of our
I know
kids.
Exactly. Palace Station. I know where you're at now.
Yeah. So we scholarship about 20% of the kids who can't afford it, or we give reduced rates to those kids, and then the others pay. We don't make very much money off the club program. In fact, you make very, very little. We couldn't pay the operating expenses from that, but we are able to have other groups that come in that rent it out.
Well, what a wonderful contribution to our society here in Las Vegas.
I think it's very important. More so than people give it credit for. Playing sports and competing in sports has been a big reason why our country has prospered, I believe. You learn how to compete in all facets of life.
Probably a little bit why you're like you are.
Well,
yeah?
I certainly believe
became competitive in a fair way.
the traits that I have that have been helpful to me to be successful in the different areas have all come through playing sports, and I believe that's a big reason why we have such competitors in our country, whether it's in business, in medicine, or in the legal field. It's because we are raised and we compete in this country.
Matt Brown, why are you behind this guy right here?
Well, the
why?
main reason is I've watched his career, and he hasn't really had the opportunity to do what he needs to do. There's no doubt in my mind that he can replace anybody that's up there right now. Why? Because he cares about his community. He cares about his family. He's a family man.
That's right.
He contributes. I didn't know about the kids. To me, this is what kept me out of trouble when I was a kid in Detroit. I was on a basketball team, short as I am. If it wasn't for that coach, I probably would have been out in the street breaking a store or something like that.
As you are now.
Yeah, right. But he's got the right people behind him. His attitudes, I've known him for maybe 5 or 6 years, and his attitude's always first class. We all have our personal problems. We just don't drag them in the door. Sometimes you got to leave them out there. We got to do what we're sent here to do. And I think he was born to be a leader. There's no doubt in my mind. And you can't tell me any different. And my wife adores this family. This family made UNLV what it is today, or it would have never been there.
That's right. I agree with that. My son, John Michael, had cerebral palsy, and he graduated with a master's degree in UNLV.
Yeah.
And so he's a social service worker now at Ruby Thomas Elementary School and a couple of other elementary schools. But the people that helped make UNLV what it was is one guy named Jerry Tarkanian.
Yeah, he made
and
that.
I have the utmost of love and respect for that man.
My dad had a great contribution to the city, and it's well known. He's got a lot of publicity from it. But the one who doesn't get the publicity, who's done every bit as much, if not more, is my mother.
Yes.
She was 12 years on the school board. She's 14 years on the city council. She started off teaching hard of hearing children how to hear better privately here in Las Vegas. She cares so much for this community, and has been a big part of it. She's on so many charities. My mother's a wonderful individual, and she's still alive, and she's still on the city council. And I get more people that tell me how proud they are that she's their representative in the city of Las Vegas than you can imagine. She's what makes you proud about wanting to get into politics.
Well, that's awesome. Is there any particular thing that we haven't said today on our show here, or any message or anything else you would like to carry? Because this show, WCOBM.TV, this show can be seen anytime somebody wants to watch it, and they would get to revisit you and your charming attitude and who you are and what you believe in and how you present yourself. So is there any other message you would like to give to these people?
Well, I just think it's important to get engaged politically, and I'm not one of the people that say, hey, the more people that vote, the better. I think the more people that are interested in the political process and get informed on their candidates, the better political representatives we're going to have. So I encourage everybody, go out and learn about what's going on in our country and what people that represent you are doing, and if you agree with them, vote for them, and if you don't, look for somebody else. And if you want to support me in my race, we have a website at tarknv.com. Go to our website. You can sign up and volunteer. You can join what we call the 10 for Tark campaign, where you give $10 each month until the primary is over, 9 months, and help me replace the current senator there.
Okay, tell them how to vote for you again. Tell them that one. I want to make sure they get that. One more time.
It's on the website at Tark,
T-A-R-K?
Tarknv for Nevada.com. And you can sign up to help volunteer or if you wanted to contribute.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. So I want you to know that for me personally, and if it wasn't for this man here, I might not get to have met you today, but this guy and I go back a long ways, and we're both on your team now.
Well, thank you.
Aren't we? We're on
Yes,
his
we
team.
are. And you will be able to see this also on probably about 60 of our websites, and that's at onenetpack.com, and that will be at the end of November. And also on Facebook, we have 232 websites as of yesterday.
But they can look up Danny Tarkanian on Facebook and see these pictures and see all these things. Do you have a website too?
That's
the Tark?
Tarknv.com.
Okay, tarknv.com.
They can also see him on Republican Social News Network, and I own Danny Tark.
Oh, that's awesome.
You own me?
Huh?
He probably does. He thinks he owns me. He must own everybody.
This is great. We just want to see you win.
Okay, so we are honored to have you here on our station today at WCOBM, and you're finalizing. When is this race over?
Second Tuesday in June. Long time from now.
Well, a
Yeah,
long
no,
time from
it's a
now.
long process.
You got a long race to run, huh?
Yes.
Gotta go fast.
And do it. But in the meantime, you'll be doing a lot of campaigning and a lot of things going out there to help this country and this city become great. We, unified together, do pray for and have a lot of respect for all those that went through this great tragedy last Sunday night. And we wish all of you a very, very safe and faithful and good life. And you're only going to have that because of guys like this next